So then, now we know how to convert our code using the Babel CLI, let's now set up a typical workflow that we could use when we're creating some kind of real website using modern JavaScript. So first of all, let's just think for a minute about the end goal. Ultimately, what we want to do is create a website or web application, and we want to use modern features in our JavaScript code, but we want our code to be supported in all browsers, right? So what we need to do is create some kind of source folder in our application directory where we write all of our modern JavaScript code. Then we also want to create some kind of distribution folder, and that folder will contain an HTML file and our converted JavaScript code which runs in all browsers. Now the HTML file is going to contain a reference to that converted code, not our source file. And that whole folder, the distribution folder, is ultimately going to be the folder that we deploy or upload to a web server. So let's come up with some kind of project structure over here for this. So like I said, first of all, I want to create a folder called source or src, and that is going to contain all of our source JavaScript. So all of the modern featured JavaScript is going to live in here. And what I'll do is create a new file called index.js for now, and that's where we'll create our JavaScript. This is where we write our code. Now we'll create another folder inside chapter 19 and call this dist. And this folder right here is a distribution folder. It's going to contain all the end code. So inside this, first of all, I'm going to create another folder called assets, and this is where all of our stuff like JavaScript or images or CSS would ultimately live. Now for us, we just want to create a new file. I'm going to call this bundle.js. And that bundle.js is where we're going to output the converted code from this. So inside dist, I also want to create an index.html file, and this index.html file will have a reference to this bundle. So we'll do a script tag at the bottom down here. We'll say script, and the source of that script is going to be inside the assets folder, and then /bundle.js. So this is the script that we're linking to, and this distribution folder, this is what we'd upload to a web server, and that is going to contain all of the converted code which we're linking to right here. Now the thing is, we're never directly going to be writing code in here. We don't do that. We only write JavaScript code in our source folder JavaScript. So we'd write all of our code in here, then we'd have it converted into this file, so that this file contains JavaScript code that is browser compliant and is going to run in all browsers. Then we upload all of this stuff to the web server. Does that make sense? So let's do a little example now. What I'm going to do is come to index.js, and I'm just going to paste in this little bit of code right here. So this is using some modern features, right? Const, an arrow function, a template string, and we're just calling this function 3 times. So I'm going to save this now, and I'm going to save this index. In fact, I'm going to open this up in a browser because we don't already have it open. So let me open with live server over here. And now if I open the console, we're not going to see anything just yet because we don't have anything inside bundle.js, which is what the index is referencing. So now what we want to do is take this, we want to convert it into older supported code using Babel to this file, so that when we view index over here, we see that effect in the console. So remember, to do that, we use the Babel CLI. We need to make sure we're in the correct project directory. Then we say node_modules, because we need to go into the node modules folder first of all, then inside bin, so /bin/Babel. So now we say the file that we want to convert, the input file, which is inside the source folder. So we say source and then /index.js, and then we say -o to say the output file, and that is going to be inside the dist folder /assets /bundle.js. Now press enter, and it's going to convert this code into older JavaScript and output it right here. So now we can see that older code, and because now we're referencing that file right here, when we load up index in the browser, now we see the effect of that. Cool. So this Babel script right here at the bottom, that is a lot to write every time we want to do this conversion, because we might make changes to this code several times and we have to write this out every time. So fortunately, we can define a script inside our package.json file, and that's going to help speed things up. So what I'm going to do right now is just copy this, which I have selected, and then I'm going to go over to package.json. And you'll notice we have this script section in package.json. So this scripts thing right here allows us to quickly run scripts by referencing whatever the script is called down here in the terminal. So this is a test one. We don't need that. So what I'm going to do is delete that, and I'm going to create one called Babel, like so. And then we do colon, and then whatever this script is, and it has to be in a string. So let's paste this in because we just copied it from down here. So it's node modules, bin, Babel, and then taking the index file, which we want to convert, and specifying the output file right here. So now we have this shortcut script. And now if we want to run this script, we can just type down here. We have to save this first. We can type down here, NPM, then we say run to run a script, and then whatever the script is called. So Babel in this case. Now I'm not going to run it just yet because we've not actually changed our index file over here. So let me just in fact delete link and then run this again. So hopefully now inside bundle, when we run this, link will be gone. So let me save this file first of all, then say npm run Babel, press enter, and let's check over here now. We can see inside bundle.js that link statement has gone, and over here we don't see link anymore. Awesome. So that's a much quicker way now. We can just say npm run Babel every time we want to do this conversion. Again though, this might become tedious having to run the script over and over again. It would be nice if we could just run the script once, which initially converts the JavaScript, and then subsequently it watches our source file right here. Then whenever we make a change and save that file, it converts it again automatically without us having to rerun the script. And we can do this using a special flag where we define this script, and that flag is called the watch flag. So we can do this just after the input file right here where we specify what we're watching, and we say space dash W, and that watches this file for any changes. And when we make a change and save the file, it runs this whole script again automatically, so we don't have to do that. So if I save this now, what I'm going to do is run the script once to start, and then whenever now I make a change to index.js over here, which is what we're watching, then it's going to run that script again. So I'm just going to call this again and pass in link, save it, and then check out over here bundle.js, and we can see link is back. Again, I might just come back over here and let me cross off this. Let me create a class user, and I'm just going to say inside constructor, and inside this constructor we'll just say this.score is equal to 0. So a very basic class. I'm going to save that again. Then if we go to bundle, we can see all of the updated code. So now we don't have to completely rerun the script every time we're making changes. We just do it once to begin with. It watches the file, and then every time we save that file, it automatically updates this bundle, and then obviously updates over here in the browser. So now we have a nice environment set up to automatically convert our code, and now we know a bit about Babel and what it does. I'd like to move on to another tool called Webpack.